Welcome to the Windy City Bender Podcast with your hosts, Nolly, Poetzy, Jarom, and Tanner.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome into the Windy City Bender Podcast, episode number 76, where we are going to preview the Hawks.
The Hawks!
Pretty much all episode today. Full squad. Got Nolly. How are you?
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
Good. Tanner, downtown. What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Downtown Tanner.
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
What's up? And Jarom?
Hey, what's up?
How are you guys?
No,
Doing just fine.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah,
what's up?
Oh, what's up?
Got a lot going on today. Got the preseason preview for the Hawks. Got our fantasy draft. And then the Benders actually got a game downtown today.
Hawks are also playing in
and the Hawks
Europe.
are also playing. Yeah,
Germany.
Yep.
At 12:30.
Germany.
Yes.
So
Germany.
So this is pre-Hawks.
Watch the replay.
They're watching the whole country of Germany.
The whole one.
Yes.
The whole one. So, but gonna go into the Hawks preview today. So, pretty excited about it. I guess let's break it down. Start talk about last year.
Yes.
Not ideal.
No.
Son of a bitch. I wrote down. I don't have it with me. I wrote down what their record was in November once Colleton joined, and then I wrote down the record from December on, and it was just stupid. I'm so upset I don't have it. Yeah, they were like way below 500 that first month that Colleton came in from November 8th on through the rest of November. As soon as December hit, they were so hot. They were way above 500. Like, they were just so good. The systems finally clicked in. They understood like what he wanted, and everybody just found their role. And it was so good. I mean, I don't know. It was fun to end the year at least.
Yeah, it was like December 16th or 17th or something like that. Where from that point on, they were actually a 100-point team. Like, if they had played a full season from that point on, they're going to be a plus 100-point team. So, a lot of that had to do with the systems finally getting figured out and everything like that. And power play. The power play was lethal.
Ooh, yes.
From December all the way until the end of the year.
I mean, they had no problem scoring goals, but it was just keeping the puck out of the net. And so obviously it was a lot of mostly defense, some goaltending, which we'll get into about how they addressed that. But they definitely had no problem scoring whatsoever last year.
Yeah, there was one point during the season when, like, if you're a betting person, they hit the over like 16 games in a row.
Oh,
or something like that. It was like,
I forgot. Yeah,
and it kept raising. It was like at one point it was like 6.5 was like the over, and they're like, here's 8 goals. Like,
yep. Canner's just like, I'm putting money on the over. If I'm not gonna put money on us, just the over. And he's like, I'm hitting it tonight.
Yeah,
there was that one
when
game
they were winning. I was gonna say when they were winning, like it would be like a 5-3 game, like 5-4, like 6-4, and like it was just like insane.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Scored on like both sides, but it was good that we were putting the puck in the fucking net so much too.
I found the records of when Coach Q was there and then when he got fired.
What was it?
So Coach Q was 6-3. Colleton was 30-28-9.
Yeah, but if you take out all the games in November, his record is so much better.
Was it like probably like 32 in like 9 or
32.
30, 20, and 9.
Going back to the over comment, there was that one game where the Hawks played against Ottawa at home. And if you did in-game betting on that, the final over was like 15 or something like that.
And
it was insane.
I think it was like 14. They just went under it. Like, they just missed it, I think. I remember that. That was hilarious.
That was ridiculous.
Did Perlini get a hat trick that game?
No, that was against Arizona.
That was against Arizona. Yeah, that's right.
That was Arizona. And then he scored with like 3 seconds left or something like that.
Hey, I mean, he likes threes.
He does. Big 3 guy.
Big 3 guy.
Yeah, he also doesn't like noise. Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blocking haters.
Get that shit out of here.
Top performers last year. Kaner's always going to be at the top of the list. Jonathan Toews, unbelievable comeback year for him last year, and he's being severely overshadowed as somebody coming into this season. Alex DeBrincat, 40 goal scorer.
Keep the
a
change.
lot of Well, my question to you guys is: does he hit that without Dylan Strome?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I mean, who would have been their centerman?
Dylan Strome certainly helped.
Who would have been their center then?
I don't know.
Because when Strome came in, they didn't have that second line center. I mean, it would have been Anisimov actually, probably.
Yeah.
And
but,
that wasn't that great
didn't work.
of a pairing. Yeah.
Well, you could have seen like different kind of line pairings. You know, you might have seen DeBrincat with Taves and Kane for part of the year then too. And
yeah, you never know.
I don't think they would have done that, but it would have been too much on one.
I mean,
that's overloading a lot on one line, but it could have happened possibly.
Right. It would, depending on like what the Hawks are actually doing at the time. If they're struggling hard, then why not put the three of them on one line? You know, like. So definitely Strome helped out, but I think DeBrincat is just like he's gonna fucking score.
Yeah, he's definitely a natural goal scorer, and I fucking love it.
Oh god, yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Fucking Gustafsson last year too.
I was just about to say.
Ooh.
Eric Gustafsson last year came out of nowhere. Really kind of came into his own. Obviously a very offensive-minded guy. He still needs to work on his defensive game. I mean, everybody on the Hawks back end needs to work on their defensive game. But
another reason that their power play started to turn around is they took Keith off and they put Gustafsson up top there, and he just moved the puck so well, and he just set that whole power play up so much better than Duncan was able to last year.
No, and all of his shots got through too.
Yeah,
all of his shots got through. Where Duncan just got blocked.
Well, it's because Duncan only takes slap shots no matter what.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he takes half clappers.
Well, yeah, but...
right in his shins. But I was going to say, like, you could see it when Gustafsson came back, because he didn't start the season on the team, right? He was down.
No, he did. No, he did start, but they sat him for, like, 3 games in a row or something like that.
And then
another guy Q doesn't like.
Yeah, when he got brought in, and, like, actually you could see it, too, in the games. Like, all he did was, like, skate the puck up and then look for Patrick Kane, get it right to him. It was just like, cool. And Carlton was like, I like the way you do that. Let's keep that going. And then
especially
he realized,
Kaner being out there for 30 minutes a game.
Absolutely.
That's another big thing that Carlton did that Q really never did. He played Patrick Kane. Like, he played him till he was blue in the lungs, man. I feel like in that situation, like for Kaner to finally get that much ice time, like I think it was good for him, because like he likes to be in those big situations. He likes having the pressure on him. Like that's when he thrives. So I thought that was like huge for him to get that much ice time.
It's fucking showtime.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking
hashtag career year.
Gustafsson finishing in 6th in defensive scoring was just absolutely amazing and just so fucking awesome.
Over 20 goals last year, right?
No, he had 17.
Or close to it, yeah.
That's not bad though.
60 points. Like, it's nothing to fucking scoff at. It's fucking
only bad thing about that moving forward is, what is he going to want contract wise?
He's going to want that Seabrook contract.
That's not going to be our problem, though.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'll be shocked if he's even on the team towards the trade deadline.
I mean, depending on how the Hawks are doing, if they're fucking flying high and doing well, they'll probably hold on to him. It's just going to end up – we're going to end up losing him probably.
I don't think he'll come back for the 2020-21 year.
Yeah, I don't see
him come back for that.
If Khan comes back and he's buzzing, then they bring Boquist up to give him his shot, and he starts buzzing out there, then it's like he'll probably end up being the odd man out, unfortunately. Which
the only thing going into UFA for him, a lot of teams need defense, but a lot of the teams that are going to be winning don't have the room, and most of their decors are set. So if he wants to get paid, he's going to go to a shittier team, or like not like a shittier team as in Carolina though, but like Carolina might be able to pick him up, but they have so much D already. Like he's not going to be able to go to a highly touted team to get paid. So I mean, if he likes Chicago, like I feel like they're on the up right now. So like if he took a bit of a discount even for like a 2-3 year, he probably wouldn't want to do that at 27, but still, like
he'll probably get signed by Colorado. They have so much fucking cap space.
Yeah, but they don't have much room on D. I'm sure they'd rather have Cale McCarr or Bowen Byram come up next year.
Yeah, but I mean, they can fit him in like on the left side too. Like that's where he's playing, isn't it? Like I'm pretty sure Byram was right-handed, and I don't know. I think they have like a decent amount of right-handed defensemen. So like, I mean, that's just one situation.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
that's 1 out of 31 teams.
Well, yeah.
So
I mean, yeah.
Well. I didn't know if you were going anywhere else with that. Yeah.
No, I was waiting for you to chime in.
No, that's fine. So those are some of the big positives from last year, and obviously Jeremy Colliton coming in actually did really, really well for himself. Taking in the place of Joel Quenneville, which is not very easy to do. I mean, somebody who's absolutely beloved in Chicago, who, let's be honest, did not get a fair shake last year. They should have fired him at the end of. They should have fired him at the end of
the offseason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why even bring him back? Why even bring him back if you know you're just going to can him?
I think that was kind of a Bowman just waiting for something bad to happen, even though they didn't make the playoffs last year. But yeah, that didn't make any sense, especially if you want that team to be successful. You want to bring Colliton in for his own training camp so that he can get all of that shit that happened in the early of November out in October, so that November on is a lot better. Like you said, they were projected to be a 100-point team. Who knows what would have happened if he started the year there?
Mm-hmm. I mean, why waste the 2 months?
Exactly.
Of bullshit. And
most teams that are in playoffs by Thanksgiving are in the playoffs by the end of the season anyway.
Take out the Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues.
That's why I said most.
Don't say that.
There is only at Thanksgiving there was only 2 teams from each division that were in playoffs that didn't make playoffs.
Yeah.
Or each conference.
What was it,
Minnesota, Buffalo.
They suck.
Because they had a 10-game win streak and didn't make playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
They were in first place.
They were in first place.
They were the only other team in first place besides Tampa Bay. I love bringing that up because it's so funny.
Yeah.
God, that's tough. Tough.
Another bright spot. Crawford came back healthy.
Yes. Well, a couple times. That was actually going to be one of the negatives for me, was that he came back and then he got hurt again, and then he came back and then he got hurt again. So, if Crawford is able to put together, especially now that Robert Leonard is in, if Crawford's able to put together another 45, 50 game year of what we know that he can do, that's a whole nother aspect of the game that is going to be helpful, because the defense needs as much help as they can get. And past couple of years of the goaltending, haven't been able to get it. I mean, you can't rely on Anton Forsberg, Jeff Glass,
Cam Ward,
Colin Delia.
I mean,
it's just, you just cannot.
Scott Foster.
No, you can rely on him.
You can rely on him.
He's a goddamn brick wall.
Are you kidding me? So yeah, that if he can stay healthy and Leonard can be what he was last year, that's a huge advantage for the Hawks going into the season, because like you said, their defense isn't great and it hasn't been, but because of their goaltending not being as well as Crawford by himself was able to do for so many years. And I mean, obviously he had like Darling and Ronta behind him for a couple of years, which was helpful. Like it just showed how important Crawford is to the Blackhawks. Like just because their D isn't as great as everybody thinks it is, and Crawford stands on his head a lot and says he bails that D core out a lot.
Well, yeah, that was when he went down the first time with the concussion. The Hawks were in first place, and then they just went downhill so fast, and it just showed like how important he was, and that's why it's gonna be fantastic to have him and Vezina nominee Robin Lehner, which is gonna be sick.
Jennings winner,
right?
Jennings
winner,
Greg Jennings.
By the way, his pads with the red jersey.
Oh my God!
Good.
So
good.
Honestly, when was the last time though that we had this 1-2 punch that it's like you can feel comfortable? The D the D makes a bad play. You know what? You know you're gonna get bailed out by goaltending. Probably Darlene Crawford.
Yeah, probably 2016. Yeah. Darlene Crawford.
It's
and
crazy
look how that
thinking
ended up.
Yeah.
It's just crazy thinking that for once it's not going to be goaltending. That's like, well, fuck.
Well,
on
knock
wood.
on wood.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
for once, it's been like 3 years.
It's still. I mean,
No, I know, but
it's frustrating. You know, like when you
maybe we can make the playoffs for once.
Yeah. Come on.
Finally, something goes our way.
Yeah. What is? Sounds such a fucking spoiled hockey fan right now.
yes, you did a little
fuck.
bit. That's all right.
Great. That's great.
It's all right.
That's why everybody hates Hawks and Hawks fans.
Fuck the Bruins, though.
Yeah. They don't deserve a cup. That's why they lose every time.
What are some of the other negatives you guys pulled out from last year? Anything else that we haven't covered?
I don't know if there's much other than not having healthy goalies or caliber goalies that are back there and the defense. Other than that, I mean, like we said, they could put the puck in the net. There was no problems. I mean, Taves, Kane, and DeBrincat Taves and Kane had a career high in points, and DeBrincat had career high in goals, even though it was only his second year. But still,
right.
like he's still going up. So I mean, the offense, there was nothing you can really do about it. Like they were moving the puck, and power play got better. So I mean,
yeah, Dylan Strome came in and was huge and was fucking awesome to watch. Like him be the actual number 3 overall pick that he was supposed to be is
right.
Fucking awesome. And having him like next to DeBrincat, it's like having our own like Jamie Benn and Tyler Sagan. Like it's fucking sick.
Yeah. And
what's funny
Drake
is pumping his
Caggiula.
tires right now. It's because it's almost a year to the date that we
I was gonna
absolutely
say.
just ripped him to shreds.
Hey, you know what? He heard it. He fucking was like, I got to do something.
Hey,
I got to go to
tough luck.
Chicago and prove
It's
these
tough
guys
luck,
wrong,
man.
man.
My God.
Hey, I just call it as I see it.
The difference a year makes, man.
Absolutely. What a steal. What a
The difference coming out of the desert makes.
Yeah.
No, talk about steal of a trade. Drake Caggiula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I
Mhm.
think we talked about it
Brandon
last
Manning.
episode. Yeah, but still, like, I loved his game last year. I thought he was awesome. Him and Taze played so well together. He's such a gritty guy, and he just goes in the corners, no problem, just does the work. He unfortunately got hurt a ton last year, so hopefully he stays healthy this year because I liked him a lot last year.
Yeah. He was good. He only got to play like 26 games with the Hawks, but 26 games and 12 points.
Right.
Playing on the top line, it's not
With
bad.
Taves,
especially when you're not especially when you're not like seen as a scorer.
Right.
He brought the energy so fucking much. And it was
Exactly.
great.
He got
Oh,
that
yeah.
line going. And not only that, but didn't he get like an eye injury or something like that? So, I mean, he came back with like some sort of facial injury. So, I mean, that could be like distracting usually too.
Yeah. I think the only other negative, and I guess it kind of stays the whole defensive core and everything like that, but the penalty kill. Dead last last year.
That goes back to not being able to keep the puck out of the net.
Yeah, I know. But that needs to change because even right now in the preseason, and I know it's just the preseason, but they're dead last right now too.
All right, Poets, you can't take the Bruins Rockford game into account.
Actually, I'm not taking the Bruins Rockford game into account.
Yeah, fuck Jack Edwards though. Just a heads up.
that
Fuck
clown.
Jack Edwards.
By the way, real quick, did you guys see the picture of somebody sitting at TD Garden?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The seat in front of them was this close to their knees.
Oh, what?
Like you cannot walk. There's no way anybody can walk up and down that aisle if there's somebody in there.
Yeah, it was
Really?
absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they
And that-
added for like 4,000 more seats to improve fan experience.
That is not going to help.
Yeah.
Just
Not at
another
all.
reason to hate the fucking Bruins.
That's brutal. That's brutal. But
All right, that's enough
looking-
Bruins talk.
looking forward to 1920 here. A lot of good stuff happened in the offseason. I mean, we already touched on a couple of them. Robin Leonard, Calvin DeHaan, not to mention guys like Kirby Doc getting drafted as well, getting that 3rd overall draft pick.
Kirby who?
Sorry, Kirby
Olimata.
Kirby Datch. Duck.
I'm sorry.
Duck Goose.
No, it's
Furby.
Curb.
Furby Doc. Furby. Something. I don't know. It's hard. Names
They
are
add
hard.
in, I mean, not to mention they add in Olimata, and they got Ryan Carpenter from Vegas.
Yep.
Andrew Shaw came back.
Andrew
Zach
Shaw came
Smith.
back. Zach Smith, that was the other one. And then that Alexi Sorella, they're getting pretty high on him. He came in over in from Carolina.
The
Mm-hmm.
DeHaan trade.
Yeah.
With DeHaan.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, a lot.
That's gonna be like a secret steal of such a trade. Like,
Yeah.
really, Forsberg and Forsling for Sararella and Dahan. Like,
And isn't
What?
Forsling going over to Europe to play this year too?
I think
Yeah.
so. And then also
Like-
this move happened during the season last year, but we'll see for the first time. Kubelik.
Oh, right.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
He looked really
Yeah,
good
Kubelik.
in like the preseason games that I saw him play.
Yeah, a couple of
He
goals.
can
Yeah.
fucking rip.
Mm-hmm.
That is right. Ugh, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, and Willie Nylander
Yeah.
oh
or Alex
Alex.
Nylander.
Alex Nylander.
Fuck yeah.
I wish
Alex
it was really.
Nylander.
Who's projected to play with Taves and Kane?
And looked really, really good
That'd be sick.
up to this point. I mean, guy can move. You could see he's just got really good hockey sense. The way that he plays certainly can come off as lazy. But I don't know. I really haven't seen him enough to be able to kind of put my finger on it. It could come off as lazy, but I think that's just kind of his style, where he's just kind of, just slow reading the play, but he's able to make the play though.
You're saying like more like methodical rather than fast paced,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
balls to the wall. Yeah,
Just trying to slow the game down, though.
That's one of the
Yeah.
things that you usually don't see out of younger players, though. That's like something you see out of vets, and like they're usually like, "Oh, that wily vet," because he can't move his feet so fast, but he's like he knows exactly like the play to make at the right time and stuff. And like
Joe Thornton.
Right.
he's just not like a
Yeah.
proven player that can like just do that kind of thing right away, and everybody just assumes it's laziness.
Mhm.
But shedding that Buffalo like pretty much makes you a little bit better anyway. Just coming over here,
Yeah. Well, and that's my favorite part about so many of the Hawk players, the new Hawk players that are coming in, is how they're just shitting on their former team. Like him with Buffalo, Dahan with Carolina,
Oh, yeah, God, I forgot about
Sorella with
Dahan.
Carolina. Oh my
Mhm.
God.
Well, Sorello came over and he was like finally get a chance to make an NHL roster. Like he wasn't getting a fair shake, and it's like,
You're going to the A. Yeah.
you need some more time to marinate, my son.
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna take that the wrong way?
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I
It could
think
just be like a front office thing that he also had an issue with, but we also have his brother
Yeah.
we just drafted too, so that might be.
I think that really helps
helpful.
as well. Yeah.
So, I mean, comparing it to Carolina, though, like this roster right now is so deep. Carolina's roster wasn't that deep last year. So, I mean, I feel like if you looked at it, it'd be like, I don't know, last year the team wasn't very deep and they still didn't give me a shot. But this team's so deep and I made it this far in camp before going
Mhm.
down. Maybe, eventually I'll get a shot or something.
I think if you look at our bottom six, I mean, literally, you have anybody in that team can be sent down at any second kind of situation. And the fact that we have such a deep offensive core now that we can bring up guys, I think that's going to make it a little bit easier to take. It's just going to be put in the work and just make sure I'm the first guy that gets that call when it comes to it.
Like Dylan Sakura.
Yeah. 5.5, baby. I'm sticking with it.
I can't wait to have a case of beer.
We're counting Rockford goals, right?
No.
Yes.
I thought those were halves.
No. Training camp goals were halves. Rockford
Damn
goals don't count.
He still didn't get any training camp goals. Um,
That's why I'm not too worried about it.
Leave Dylan alone.
Jeez, what a callback.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Robin Leonard, we touched on him, but that's certainly going to help out the Hawks on the back end. Plus, they're probably going to split 50-50, if we're going to be totally honest.
Yeah,
I think
I
so.
mean,
Maybe the smart way.
At least to start the year, I think they're gonna start 50-50 and then find a number one probably around like January,
Whoever's hot.
February.
I was
Right.
gonna say I think that's one of those situations you go with the hot hand until it gets cold and then
Mhm.
switch it up.
Absolutely. But I mean, it also gives the Hawks something to think about after this year because both of them are up, right?
Yeah.
Crow and
Yeah.
Leonard. So it gives them something to think about
Well, I mean,
moving forward.
possibly because like you never know that anything can happen, and with
Mm-hmm.
Crawford's injury history, he could possibly just go down, and like you never know, that could just be it. And it's kind of almost good for us to have Laner in at that 1 year deal because if Crawford's not coming back, it's like, hey, bud, spot's all yours if you want it, like.
Mhm.
And not only that, if Crawford wants to come back, he's 34 years old right now. What is he going to want going into next year? Are you going to be able to pay that much? I mean, Leonard just came off his best career ever, and you just signed him to a $5 million contract. He's 28 years old. I mean, you could probably get him at 3 years for another, I don't know, $5 million per year. Like just
You can get him
extend it.
You could probably get him like close to like what Crawford makes right now, like
Exactly.
maybe a little bit more. And like I would rather have Lehner at 28 than Crawford at 34 with an injury history.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. So
it's going to be one of those things where it's like going to be hard for the fan base to swallow that if we kind of step away from Crawford, like it might just be the best choice for the team though, rather than be the best choice for the fan base.
Right. And who knows if I'm sure he wants to keep playing, but who knows what Crawford's going to do at the end of the year. I mean, with all those concussions, man, at some point you got to think about yourself, you know?
Quality of life, you know?
I did read an article on him where they talked to him about, you know, how he's feeling coming into the season. And he said that finally, for the first time in like 2.5 years, he feels completely 100% healthy. He doesn't have any issues with his head anymore, like nothing residual, like his body feels fine. So he finally got the time in this offseason to really fully recover. So I think we're actually going to get Corey Crawford from back in like 2015, 2016 again.
Can you imagine having a Jennings winning tandem again?
Oh my God.
That'd be sick.
The only thing is, though, you take one Shea Weber off the dome again and you're back in like you're back to where you were at, you know, and it might be worse. Yeah, that's the thing, especially in a goalie position, you know. You're getting shot at, like people are driving the net hard. I mean, like
what was it? Evander Kane. He's the one that drove the net on him.
But Strome was the one. Well, Strome was the one that barreled into him.
I was going to say, wasn't it one of the Hawks that barreled into him and hit his head off the post? So, I mean, it's just anything could happen in that position. It seems like it just keeps happening to Crawford, unfortunately.
Well, especially, too, it's not even just in games. It can happen in practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely. Because forwards are assholes and they shoot for the head because it's funny.
But either way, fucking absolutely love going into the season with Crawford and Lehner. Like, both healthy and just knowing what they can do at the top of their game. It's like,
watch out. Honestly, best tandem in the NHL.
Absolutely.
Like
without a doubt.
It's going to be solid.
Think of a better 1 and 2.
There's a lot of just obviously ones, but not both.
There's a lot of sick ones.
We essentially have 2 ones, which is just fucking amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So moving on to the defense, big upgrades from last year.
Big.
Only loss is Yokoharaju, right?
Sad.
But I think.
Did you say he's dead?
No, I said sad.
I thought you said he's dead.
But the projected lineups,
well, I mean, he's in Buffalo, so who knows?
Projected lineups for today, at least for the defensemen, are Keith and Gustafson, Mata and Seabrook, Cuckoo and Dahlstrom, and then Gilbert and Dahan. So that's what they got going
playing?
today. That's what they had at practice. He was at practice like that.
He probably won't be in.
No, because I don't think they're going to run 8 defensemen. Yeah.
But, I mean.
Zach Gilbert's been impressive.
Yeah, everybody's loving his game. I think he's been playing really well. And, every, insider, every analyst for the Hawks has been like, this kid's been something special so far this training camp and preseason.
Such a nice guy, too.
It's really interesting.
Hashtag nice guy.
I love that story about how he just introduced himself to you. It's just like, hey, how's it going?
I don't know. Have I ever told it on the show?
I don't think so.
So I'm doing the filming for the CPHL. I'm sitting on the bench where the Blackhawks, how they can walk out of the locker onto the bench. And he comes up and he puts his sticks down. He comes up to me and like, hey, I'm Dennis Gilbert. So nice to meet you. Thank you so much for doing this. Shakes my hand and then just goes and skates. I'm like, oh fuck, man, that's awesome. Hope
you make the team this year.
You're welcome.
You don't have to say that. Like, you don't have to acknowledge me here.
That's fucking big.
Acknowledge me.
Well, having issues, or not having issues, but having some upside for our defense is going to be really exciting to fucking have because of how shitty it's been lately. But
and
going into the season with some solid defensemen is going to be sick. I just realized that Murphy's not on here.
Oh, yeah. Where's he at?
I don't know. I want to see more Murphy after the whistle fucking with teams. Because that was my favorite shit. I had no idea he would do that until against Boston last year when he stole the puck from Bergeron after the whistle. And Char's chasing him down and just keeping it away from him, fucking holding his arm out, and then he's like, fine, fucking take the puck, whatever. It's like, what? Oh, it was so good. But yeah, I don't know where he's at.
And the future defensemen for the Blackhawks too look great. Obviously,
Yeah.
Boquist. We got Bodan as well. Ian Mitchell's possibly going to be coming up pretty soon.
Chris.
Dude, I keep forgetting about Ian Mitchell
Chris.
too.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to follow his season in Denver and see how that goes. He's sick.
So, I mean, there's a lot of potential, and we're probably not going to see Mitchell or Chris this year, but definitely potential
probably
to see.
not Bowden either, right?
Maybe
I mean,
Bowden.
you never know.
Maybe.
Well, is Bowden going back to the C, or is he
that's
going
what I was
to
about to
AHL?
ask.
I think he's going to be in Rockford.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be in Rockford too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wanted to make the jump to the pros. He wanted to be a pro this year.
Doesn't he have to be? Don't you have to be 20 to play?
No.
No.
No, it's just I think you could be at either one because Boquist is only like 19.
Yeah. I think it's once you hit a certain age, you can't go back to junior. Like,
gotcha.
If you play a certain amount of games in the A if you play a certain amount of games in the NHL, you can't go back to junior, and if you play at all in the A, you can't go back to junior.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I was reading the right thing or not. But if Boquist first year of his contract's not going to be burned up if he stays in the A all year.
Huh. Weird.
I can't confirm. I gotta remember where I saw that, but I thought I read something like that.
I mean, would it be miserable if he discounted as 1 year if he came up, played some games, and then in 2 years he progressively gets better, and then we signed a decent ticket for him, and then he takes off after the contract's signed already?
I would love for him to take off as soon as Seabrook's contract is up.
That's 5 years from now.
I'm just kidding.
It's a little too long.
Yeah, it's too long.
So, I mean, looking at it, though, I mean, Gustafson, Keith, that's I don't know how I feel about that pairing. I don't
like that.
Gustafson's giving you a lot of offense. Keith's going to attempt to give you a lot of offense. There's not much defense going on in that pairing. I mean, in your top line minutes, that's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm. Mata, Seabrook. Mata's going to be good on the back end. Seabrook, we've seen Seabrook is a much better defenseman when you limit his ice time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their preseason, though, like there's like metric stats have been off the charts defensively.
Yeah, they were the best D pair.
Yeah, I was gonna say
not even just on the Hawks though. Like pretty much throughout the NHL, they've been like sick.
I was gonna say Seabrook has looked a lot better defensively this year than he has at any time last year. And granted, it's just preseason, but I mean, hopefully it's a good snippet for what could come this year, especially with playing with Mata. I know a lot of people don't like Mata for some reason and think he's not that great of a player.
I think
he is very slow, but so is Seabrook. But I mean, if they're shutting people down, then I'm fine with it. Be as slow as you want. Just make sure nobody gets in the back end.
Mata's not supposed to come in to be that goal scorer. He's supposed to be a shutdown defenseman, and I don't think people understand that.
Right.
I think also what kind of turns people off about that pairing too is like everybody assumes Seabrook's terrible. Seabrook's not terrible. Seabrook's contract is terrible.
Yes.
And it's like everybody's just like, oh, his contract's so bad, so he must be terrible. It's like that's still not what that is. NHL defenseman. Like, he's still an NHL level defenseman.
He's declining.
Right.
There's a difference between terrible and declining.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was at $4 million, he would be a great defenseman.
Oh yeah.
Compared to his cap, so it's like people would be like, "Oh my god, dude, what a steal!" It's like it's just. He has a black cloud over him because he's making almost $7 million, which nobody's happy about for sure. But besides
last year he also still put up 28 points and was only a -6 on a team that was pretty much almost last in fucking goals against. Like,
yeah. So I mean, and honestly, Calvin DeHaan, man, I cannot wait to see what he can do. He's gonna be the next Nicholas Jarom to this team, and I'm so fucking excited about it. He's gonna be so good. He's gonna be such a good shutdown guy.
He's also got an offensive edge to him too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he was. I mean, on those Islanders teams, some of them weren't great, but he was one of the best defensemen every single year for them. And then in Carolina last year, he was so good for them.
He just had injury issues, didn't he?
Yeah, that's really it.
So and he's injured right now, but
he
said he's going to be ready for game one. So,
right.
And if he is not there for game one, he's definitely going to be in shortly into the season. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
When this team gets up and going, when they're all together, it's going to be really fun to watch.
Granted, there's no injuries, right, Tanner?
Yeah.
Definitely a big upgrade on the defensive side from last year. And then just to kind of touch on the other two guys, Slater Cuckoo and Carl Dahlstrom.
And Connor
I
Murphy.
actually, and Connor Murphy. I was just talking about the lineup for preseason.
Yeah.
I really liked Slater Cuckoo, actually. I thought he was pretty good, especially as like a 6th or 7th defenseman. I mean, he wasn't like over the top good, but
Just go eat some bottom pair minutes.
Yeah,
Big
he
body.
just did his job. Just did his job out there.
Just went about his business.
Yeah,
Real
I
big
really
boy.
liked him. Dahlstrom, he's kind of like one of those guys. He's kind of like a Forsling, actually, where he really hasn't been able to get too much playing time up here. Gets sent down every now and again, so I'm still kind of up in the air on him. But the future looks bright defensively for sure.
Definitely.
As long as they don't trade away all their defensive prospects. Because that's
Are you referring to anybody in specific, or
in specific, in particular?
I mean, I don't think we've ever had such like highly graded defensive prospects as we do now. Like,
No, I'm just saying that's usually what they do. I mean, they trade away a lot of defensive prospects.
we already did trade away one. So.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
mean, they traded away Nick Leddy. He wasn't a prospect, but I mean, I love Nick Leddy, man. I'm still upset that they got rid of him. I mean, just going back, I mean, Steven Johns, they got rid of Osterley. Like, they just trade defensive prospects.
Mhm.
Yeah, Osterley wasn't really a defensive prospect, though. We picked him up. He was drafted by Edmonton.
I know, but he was still a young defenseman that they could have added.
Did
I mean,
well,
he could have been
right.
in a Cuckoo slot or a Dahlstrom slot, you know?
You know what I do? Actually, just thinking about that, though, is like we got Osterley, we got Gustafson, and we got Brandon Davidson at one point, who were all drafted by Edmonton. I'm really glad Gustafson worked out so well for us.
And then we gave him Brandon
roll
Manning.
the dice with these guys.
Yeah. Got to be careful of those Edmonton draft picks.
No, they do really well just once they leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true. That's true.
They do a great job drafting. They just don't turn them into hockey players.
Play well. Forwards up front.
Let's
Yes.
go.
Do you want to go through the lineup?
I got lines right here. So projected top line: Nylander, Taves, Kane.
Yes.
Do you want me to just go through them all?
Yeah. just go
Yeah.
small.
All right. So second, this is from, was it yesterday? No. Yeah, yesterday from Scott Powers, projected lines from practice. Like I said, top line. DeBrincat, Strome, Shaw, second line. Saad, Kampf, Kubalik?
Oh,
Kubalik, yeah.
okay.
And then Kajula, Doc, Perlini, Carpenter, and Vadine, right?
I got different
Anton
lines that were
Vadine.
used in. I got the different lines that were used in practice.
Which ones do you have from today?
It's from
Going
it's from yesterday. It's from yesterday practice lines. It was the same top two, and then it was Kajula, Carpenter, Perlini, and then Saad, Camp, Kubalik, and then it was Doc and Whedon were the extras.
Interesting.
Because Doc, I thought they said that Doc wasn't going to play.
He's not going to play.
No, he just traveled with them.
Which, by the way, I love that he's traveling with them. Like, this kid just got drafted, and it's his first time in Chicago. Like, if he doesn't go up with them, like, he's gonna be sitting in Chicago by himself as like an 18, 19-year-old kid with nothing to do. Like, he's gonna
Doing
be
nothing, right?
Exactly. And like, I love that teams are starting to bring injured guys along so that they're just still a part of the team, especially going to Europe. Like, they obviously are high on this kid because they want to bring him to Europe right now already and like just get him in the mix, get chemistry with some of these guys. So I love that they brought him with.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that move. I still think that they're going to play him here at some point. I mean, I understand that the thought process behind it is get to be with your teammates, like hang out with the teammates, hang out with the guys, get to know them a little bit. But also, if you're going to bring him all the way out to Europe and only have him practice, it's kind of dumb. I think they're going to have him play at least a little bit.
I don't think they will.
I don't think he's clear to actually play though. I know he was cleared to practice. I'm not sure if he's got the okay to play yet.
So there's also like Zach Smith was practicing with the team, but he's not going to be playing, and so is Colin Delia. So they brought extras.
They brought a ton of extras, and
just in case. But it's like
somebody gets hurt
for Doc,
like somebody gets sick or something like that.
Right.
You know?
For Doc in that situation, I don't think it's stupid to bring him just to practice, just because he hasn't been able to practice with the team at all. He's been practicing by himself. This was his first practice, and since.
Well, and I'm also thinking too, like if they are going to actually keep him up for the regular season, don't you want him to play at least a couple preseason games to kind of catch up to the speed of the game, or
he couldn't.
like
He had a
before getting?
concussion.
Yeah, he's
No, I understand that. Like, but like if he's cleared to practice, I would assume he's cleared to play in a game.
No,
because it
that's not
depends. If
always
he's
okay.
clear to practice, it's not. He might not be clear.
it's not contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I thought the contact jerseys were the white jerseys, and he's been in a black jersey.
I don't know.
He was
I just
The
know
practicing by
he's
himself.
contact jersey was white.
Wasn't he just practicing by himself? It doesn't matter what color jersey.
No,
he's
he
wearing,
started
by
practicing.
himself.
He's
No,
practicing.
he's with the team now.
yeah.
Huh.
I mean, if
The
you're
guys
cleared
who
to
were
practice,
non-contact.
you're not necessarily cleared for gameplay yet, though.
No, I know, but I just assumed because the guys who were in non-contact jerseys, it was like Dahan was one of them, but he was practicing with the team and they were in white. And then once they were kind of moved out of that and were cleared for contact, they were in the black. So they might not be cleared to play, but cleared for contact. I don't know. But in any case, before I forget,
Yes.
can we talk about the unveiling of
Oh yeah.
Alex DeBrincat and Dylan Strome at the mall?
Dylan Strome, Alex DeBrincat.
That was
Yeah.
the most
Yeah.
uncomfortable thing I've ever seen before in my life. Also, it's Velcro. Just rip
Yeah.
it off.
Yeah.
Just rip the thing off.
Just rip the Band-Aid, bud.
All it was missing was Curb Your Enthusiasm music. Like that's all it was missing.
That would have been funny. I would have enjoyed that.
But no, so was there? Do you think was there
embarrassing.
two other players in that tent next to him,
Oh, absolutely.
just listening and just waiting for like to just
100%.
Like,
Yeah, 100%. And that was so awkward. How do you guys feel about the breakup of the Kane to Brinkett Strome line?
I
think
it's. Sorry, go ahead, James.
no, go ahead.
No, I mean, he's been going back to it. The lines have been so different every practice. It feels like he keeps going back to like a couple different versions, but he keeps changing it up. I think he's gonna be like a Quinville, where if something's not working, he's gonna switch it up to make sure the chemistry keeps flowing, which is something Quinville. It was very frustrating a lot of the time, but it worked most of the time too. Just making those lines switch up so much. But like if you have Taze, Kane, Nylander, that's gonna be a good line. I like when Quinville was in, like going to Taze and Kane together was your go-to when something wasn't working right. So it's going to be interesting to see them start out the season together. But if that's not working and your go-to is going to be DeBrincat, Strome, Kane, I'm all for that.
Oh, 100%.
Like if that's where things aren't working and you need to go to something else and that's your go-to, 100%, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is to like show different lines and have that chemistry being built so that you do have like those times when like maybe a team is playing well against the lines that you created and then you can switch it up on the fly and like they already know like they practice with each other for that kind of situation and where they can switch up the entire they can switch up like whatever strategies that they're going at.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, DeBrincat and Strome have such good chemistry. You put at really anybody on that line, they're going to look like they fit in just as well, just because their chemistry is so off the charts right now. I mean, you throw somebody in there, all you have to do is feed it towards one of them, and the puck's probably going to end up in the back of the net.
Yeah, they kind of they can handle it. Just stay with them, keep pace, and it's not like they're blazing speed. They're fast enough, but they know where each other's at, and they'll find you.
Right. How do you guys feel about that Nylander Taze Kane line?
I like it.
That's a great line.
I think it could be so good.
Yeah, we were when we saw it the other day, we were texting about it, and I feel like Taze can go in, do some mucking and grinding. Kane's just going to draw people towards him, open up some space for Nylander, and then Nylander, if he's got some space for himself, I feel like he could do some nasty things with the puck.
That's going to be exciting to see him, like, see what he like responds with, because it's going to be top pairing defenseman against that line. And so he's going from basically AHL minutes to top line minutes where you're playing the team's best right now. And like, you're on our line with our best like forwards. So hopefully they'll be able to get you open because maybe they won't be so worried about him. But as long as he can also feed it back to them, like he's got guys on his line that can fucking put the puck away. Like,
right.
How do you guys feel like it being essentially like a sink or swim moment for Nylander? You know, tossing him out there like that.
Hey, I mean, you've been in the AHL in Buffalo.
Yeah,
it's time to prove yourself.
yeah,
I mean, if it fails for him, I mean, is that just going to essentially be it for this kid? Like, I mean, is it going to
No.
shoot his confidence that
If he
bad?
fails on this, I want Yoki Haru back.
Tracy's backsies.
You never called no Tracy backsies.
No, I don't think that's it, and he'll be shunned to the A or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about more from his standpoint, because I mean, you hear all the stories about his motivation, all that kind of stuff. I just get kind of worried, and I'm like I said, I'm hoping to God it works out. I'm just saying that's got to be a little bit of a concern too, that if it doesn't work out at this level, is he just going to go into just a mental breakdown?
I don't think so, because like you said, he's going to be getting top line minutes. He's going to be going against top pairing D. If it doesn't work out with them two, I mean, if you drop him down, maybe with the Strome to Brinkett, I know he'd be switching up and probably playing right side instead of left. I feel like that would be better for him too, just because, like we said, those two guys are young. They got great chemistry. You throw him in the mix, you're not getting that top pairing D against the other teams. So, I mean, that might help him out as well.
Yeah, I mean, even if he moves down from there too, like being on the third or fourth line with like either Perlini or Assad, like he's got skilled players that are going to be around him that are going to be helpful. And I think it's just great to have him start at least on the top line, like see if he can reach that projection of what he was like supposed to be at the 8th overall pick. You know?
Yeah, like we said, he's got the skill, he's got the patience, he can read the play very well. Like, it's just time to put it all together.
Yeah,
and if he can, holy fuck,
that's lethal. If he can, that's lethal.
Was top two.
Speaking of Brandon Saad, sounds like he's going to have a very limited role this year, where he's probably not going to get on the power play. It sounds like Shaw's going to take over his spot on power play too. And it sounds like he's either going to get third or fourth line minutes, maybe even get healthy every now and again. How do you guys feel about that?
I think he's got a ton of money in his pocket, so he's laughing anyway. I don't know. I mean, he was good last year. He's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like he has so much more to offer that he just hasn't reached yet. Like, he still hasn't hit his.
He put up 47 points last year. I mean, his max is like 53.
Yeah, I know. I just feel like I feel like he could get up to 60 though if he really wanted to. Like, I don't know. Last year he was good, but he just, I don't know. There's just something there.
He was like that perfect player that complimented Taves and Hossa when he was here. Like before like the Columbus trade. And it was just like, I could see this guy getting like 70.
I feel like
he's just kind of been like 53 constantly, which is like great. Like a 50 player is awesome, but it's
I feel like once he was away from Hossa, his game kind of it didn't progress anymore after that.
I feel like the most frustrating thing for me is that he'll put together like a 2-week span where he'll pop like 7 goals and like 6 assists. And you're like, damn,
absolutely.
Like you're starting to figure it out. And then he won't do anything for the next month and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's the most frustrating thing for me.
Yeah. Before he went to Columbus, he was such a money player. Like everything he did, it was just so good, like even away from the puck. But like now it's just, I don't know, there's just something different about him since he came back.
He's one of those guys that I feel he needs that defined role. Like, so maybe knowing going in the season that he's not going to get power play, not going to get penalty kill, it'll help him a little bit, because he was one of those guys that would always get shuffled around. The second he went cold, he got his whole role completely changed. So he just could never get in that groove again. And I think once he's knows what he's doing, what his purpose is, I think that's where he's going to start taking off.
He reminds me a lot of Pierlini too. They're kind of one of the same, where they are bounced throughout the lineup the entire season, and it's like you show these signs of brilliance and fucking scoring these goals like crazy, and then you're nowhere to be found for like 5 or 6 games, and then it's just like, so you go from like line 3 to line 2 to line 1 to line 4 to line 2 to line 3 to 1, and it's just like, what the fuck, like all over the place.
That's where it's like, it's frustrating to watch them change up the line so much, because you can't build chemistry that way with anybody. And that's what's hard and frustrating for a player, you know? But honestly, like I was half upset when they added Shaw. I was half upset because I'm like, stop bringing back former players and trying to make it work again. But just watching him goof around with the guys again, like him and Taze have been just fucking with each other. Like we saw him at training camp. Like he's such a good locker room guy, and he's obviously comfortable being in Chicago. It's home for him again.
He's so happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like it's such a good move just based off of being in the locker room and being with the guys, and I think he's going to do really well. And not to mention, like you said, our PK was garbage last year. Him and Tays on PK together, or just him and PK in general, it's going to be huge. It's going to be a huge help for them.
That locker room talk too. We kind of talked about it with Bolig. The Hawks. That's kind of what they've been missing. They've kind of been missing that just guy that just eases the tension for them.
Yeah.
So having it, like you said, that's going to be huge for them.
Yeah, and then sticking with PK, adding Ryan Carpenter, I feel like he's going to be awesome for the PK.
Mm-hmm.
I really think he's going to be good for that.
Those are going to be sneaky signings, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky signings.
Sneaky.
Sneaky.
Yeah,
Little snake.
Carpenter should be a good like defensive role type player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to see Kubalik though.
Yeah.
See what he can do. Like we talked about it a little bit before, but he can fucking rip.
Yeah, they set up on the opposite side of like Ovi and Stamkos, but they set him up on the power play on that opposite side, and they fed him one tease, and he blasted one home. Like, who was it against again? Was it Detroit?
Detroit.
Yeah.
And yeah,
he
it was a
teed it
cannon.
up when
Yeah, it was a
Walker
missile.
said hi.
So
Yeah, that second pairing or that second line power play is gonna not be too shabby if that's what's going on.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, and then I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Shaw with Strome and DeBrincat, but then at the same time, I'm like, that could be fucking such an underrated second line.
Yeah, all he has to do is just fuck shit up in front. And then
But then you got Strome, who could also just fuck shit up in front. But if you give Strome time and space to feed DeBrincat instead, and Shaw's in front, like that could be huge. You never know. That could be like a game changer for Strome. He could like even get more projected points this year.
watch fucking Shaw end up with like 30 bingos.
DeBrincat's goals go down because he keeps hitting Shaw in front of the net, and Shaw gets all the goals.
That or like he ends up like potting fucking rebounds off of DeBrincat shots like the whole time. Like,
hey, I'm fine with that. If DeBrincat's goals go down going into his contract year.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Not a terrible thing.
Yeah, but the goals are still there. It's just not his.
His goals go down, but he gets like 70 assists instead.
Right.
Do you see how many fucking things he just stole from me? Are you kidding me?
Shooting percentage goes from like 17 to 8.
Give me one prediction each for this year.
About what? I already said
Hawks.
playoffs.
DeBrincat gets 50.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Jack?
Dylan Sakura gets 6.
I think
I was gonna say I can't wait till it's like another Dylan Strome situation where it's Dylan Sakura is like he comes in and puts in like 25 or something and just like rubs it in my face.
I think Tays is gonna flirt with 100 points.
Ooh.
Ooh,
I like
that's aggressive.
that.
That's aggressive.
I
don't mind that though.
I mean, in my NHL 20 simulation, Taves was the leading scorer in the league with 108 points. And I had Kane with Nylander and Taves. It was just like worked out.
I don't mind that one. Poets, what's yours?
I got Alex Nylander at over 50 points.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Is there anything bad we should say? Does anybody, I don't know. Sod only hits 40.
I was gonna say Sod's gonna have 23 points. Yeah.
Sod only plays in half the games.
Yeah.
Gets healthy the rest.
Mm-hmm. But
wait,
Nolly,
over under on turnovers for Keith this year.
Oh jeez.
Oh, there's not a number high enough.
Yeah.
So over, no matter what it is, it's over.
Just over. It's over. Watching the last preseason game against oh my god, I'm blanking. What did they play against? Washington. Yes, thank you.
Boston.
Well, no, the one at home against
Boston.
Oh, the actual Hawks preseason.
The actual Hawks preseason game. Yes,
not the Ice Hogs one.
Duncan Keith was so bad. So bad.
We're at the rink bar watching it before our game, and Holden was there, and me and Poets are going about how Keith is so bad, and Holden's like, I don't know, he's not bad. Poets explained why we think he's bad, and I swear to God, it was like How I Met Your Mother when like the glass shatters when you realize something. He was just sitting there staring like, Oh no!
That's the thing. It's so frustrating. All these people think Duncan Keith is such a great defenseman, and like he was a good defenseman for a long time, but he's not good anymore. I never thought he was as great as everybody thought he was. But they talk about him on TV and they highly praise every little thing he does, but anytime he messes up, they do not say a word about it. So everybody thinks he's this great defenseman, but if you just watch him, he does nothing but turn the puck over, goes in the corners and loses board battles. Like he doesn't do anything right defensively at all.
What about his shot, bro?
You mean shin guards?
that was the thing that Holland was like, oh my God, please just stop.
He doesn't take wrist shots. He doesn't take wrist shots.
No,
How do you not take a wrist shot?
There were three or four times on a power play where he had the puck at the point and he just went and did a half clap and it got blocked. And Holland was just like, oh my God, just tell him to stop. Tell him to stop shooting.
He wound up, took a slap shot with nobody in front of him, and he still found fucking shin guards.
Like it's half the time that he hits shin guards, it's because he took that extra second to do a half wind up for a half clap, and if he would have just done a wrist shot, it would have gotten through. But by the time he wound up for it, somebody got in front of him. It's like, you just read the fucking play, you idiot. Sorry, I don't mean to just hose on this guy, but it's frustrating.
It is.
Hey, you know what?
Best Blackhawks defenseman of all time.
Where's Chelios? I don't know.
Keith Magnuson.
He had 6 goals last year.
Maggie. Chelios did?
Norris Dogs?
Yeah.
Norris Dogs? Duncan Keith? Norris Dogs?
No, Chelios. He was getting 6 Genos from the tanning bed last year. It's just, oh my God, it's so frustrating. Just, if you're listening and you think Duncan Keith's this great defenseman, just watch him without the puck in the defensive zone. He just swings back and forth. It's not. Ugh.
So, Nolly, you think it's a playoff year?
Yes.
Back in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
What sucks, though, is like the Hawks are in the toughest division by far.
Absolutely.
Are you saying
it's a wild card?
Okay,
Don't
I
be a
was going to
wild
say,
card.
that's what I was going to ask. Wild card, or are they going to sneak it in that third place?
Wild card, I think.
I mean,
wild card.
they could sneak into a top, not
They
top
could.
2. I don't think top 2, maybe that third spot, but I think it's going to be a wild card. I really do. I mean, there's a lot of good teams in the Central. Like you said, it's definitely the deepest, but there's some teams that I don't like that are being very highly praised on what they did in the offseason that I don't think is as good as everybody's saying.
Well, up until yesterday, I would have said Winnipeg is out.
I don't think they're
going to be.
Defense
I don't think they're going to be as good as last year, but it certainly helps having Kyle Connor and Patrick Laine back.
But their defense,
yeah, but
they have
does
no.
it?
Yeah, what's their defense?
Yeah, who knows if Buffalo's coming back?
Yeah.
But also,
the 2 I see that they're going to be at the top are probably like Nashville and Dallas.
Colorado too.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. They could have a fall off here.
They could, because I understand their defensemen are going to be really good, but they're going to be really good. I'm not saying that they're going to be good this year. Like, they have a lot of really good young talent, but it's like you're really going to depend on this super young talent to get you all the way through this whole season. It's like, and you only have Philip Grubauer, and he's not a completely proven number 1 goaltender. And sure, you have one of the best forward lines in the game, but we'll see.
Right.
Talking about that, I mean, Mikko Rantanen, he had such a crazy start to the season. He was so good, and not like taking anything away from him. He's definitely unreal. He's such a good player, but towards the end of the year, he started to fall off. Like, he wasn't putting up as much points as he was at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, you're throwing in Cale Makar. You throw in Cale Makar on D, which the kid's a stud. He's going to be very good. But when he came in last year, it was in the playoffs. Like, he scored in his first NHL game in the playoffs. Like, that kid was fired up for playoff hockey, especially in Colorado, where they haven't had that bright of a future. It's like they make the playoffs and you don't see them going anywhere. Like, it's going to be interesting to see him play in full 82-game season, especially like those young guys that come in the playoffs and then they realize what a grind it is to go through 82 like full games. So I don't know. Colorado's gonna be good, but I don't know, man. Everybody's saying they could be top 2. I don't know if I see them that high though.
I don't see.
They definitely have a bright future. I think I see them in
the third.
They definitely have a bright future ahead of them. Yeah. But I don't know about right now. I think they have a bit of a drop off.
Interesting. I see the Hawks also at a wild card spot too.
Who do you see out of the playoffs then?
Well, Central also gets probably both wild card spots too.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah. Who do you think then drops out of the playoffs that was in it last year out of the Central?
St. Louis.
Honestly, St. Louis.
Really?
Yeah, I honestly think St. Louis. They literally went on such a dream run last year. I still don't think they are that good of a hockey team.
Anything that they do this year, it's not going to surprise me. They make the playoffs. I can see that. They miss it. I totally see that too.
Definitely.
I just don't understand how everybody's so high on
Bennington.
that team when it was like an incredible run.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like, it's not like they did it the whole season. And it's like, they're so high on Jordan Bennington, but he only played like 30 fucking games. Like, that's his career right now, is 30 games. Sure, it was a great 30 games, but it's like,
so
that's not going to, you can't just like, was he going to do that again? Like, I don't think that's possible. Like,
I agree with you. I just have like, just to play devil's advocate, it was just a run, but it's once they switched up, one, the goalie, and two, the coach. That's when it turned around. And we've seen like Mike Sullivan in Pittsburgh. He came in halfway through the season. They won a cup. The next year they went on to win another cup. So, I mean,
right.
Coaching is
Sidney
huge.
Crosby. You have Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, who are two of the best players in the entire game. Like, that's also helpful.
That's fair, but St. Louis is a fucking deep team if you look at them. And you just added Justin Falk. That's huge. They don't have – I mean, they have some puck-moving defensemen, but adding a guy like Justin Falk is huge for that team. They have great defense. They have a very deep team, like I said. I mean, you got Tarasenko. You got Ryan O'Reilly, who's one of the best centermen in the game. I mean, I think it comes down to Bennington, too. I don't think he's going to be as good this year. But I don't know.
And they still got Jake Allen as the backup, too, which is not helpful.
No. But, yeah, like Jarom said, if they make the playoffs, I won't be surprised. If they miss, I won't be surprised either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Winnipeg might drop out.
Winnipeg? Yeah.
I think they might, too. Yeah.
I don't know.
I just want St. Louis to drop out.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And
what are your Stanley Cup final predictions?
Nolly's favorite. I will say I'm gonna say Florida. And
What?
Which team in Florida?
Tampa, right?
Team that's called Florida.
Oh, God.
So
Florida-
we're just doing joke picks. Is that what it is?
Arizona versus Florida.
All right, you're
Okay.
being an asshole.
Good Lord.
If he's being an asshole, I'm going to
be.
be an asshole too. Blackhawks, Maple Leafs.
That's more realistic, though.
Yeah, but I'm an asshole, and I know it. The
No,
thing is,
I-
you don't know it.
I take Tampa. Everybody takes Tampa Bay every year, and then they just do not get that job done.
I think that they don't get past the second round.
I don't see them doing that.
I think the Leafs actually might make the final this year. They have to.
I think they have
I was gonna say-
such a good chance.
They have to make it at least past the first round this year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
How
gonna say.
does-
All right, here's my legit one. I'm gonna say Toronto versus Vegas.
that's not bad.
Honestly, I was literally gonna say that.
Were you?
Yeah.
Vegas is gonna be nasty this year. What do you got, Poets?
Vegas, Tampa.
I love it. I can't wait to change these predictions up like 3 months from now.
You
3
mean
months,
a month from
about
now?
3 weeks.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go Toronto, Chicago, just because I love it.
It's gonna be a Washington and Vegas rematch.
No, it's gonna be what Jarom said. It's gonna be Florida, Arizona, just so we can all go fuck ourselves.
The NHL
Columbus,
dream match.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Columbus. They're not making playoffs.
Not even close. All right. Well, we got a draft in about the next 6
5
minutes here.
minutes.
Yeah. So, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Send us your
Hawks!
predictions as well.
Hawks.
All right.
Can this be the Hawks episode?
The Hawks, yeah.
HAQSSSS. Hawks.
Yes.
People are gonna look at it and be like, "What? Did he like sneeze or something?
What- what happened?
Is it some phlegm he's got?"
What's that? What's a HAQSSSS?
What's it just?
So,
Okay.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. For Nolly, Poets, Jarom, and Tanner. Peace out.
My
All right,
love.
boys. Bye.
Hawks
Love you.
playoffs.
Follow the boys on Twitter at WCBPodcast, on Instagram at WCBPodcast, and like them on Facebook, the Windy City Benders Podcast.